pictorial evidence, looking at Marrow, which we didn't use, but looking at the pine watercolours. It involved documentary or written evidence, looking at the bill, and it involved archaeological evidence. And what's the important, of those three things, what's the most important? What of archaeological, pictorial or documentary, which is the most important one? Archaeological, because pictorial, you could make it up. You could, well, when I say make it up, photographs are one thing. I mean, photographs are a little bit more accurate, but even then you can be misled. But a watercolour, you know, you just make it up. And in fact, actually, people, the portrait people, the painters, the artists were paid for this. Well, you know, if you pay me a bit more, I'll paint a curtain in your room. Or if you pay me a bit more, so you really have to be careful with. That's the least important. Documentary is great, but sometimes it didn't happen. So archaeological is really the point in that. But this is my point in this one. This is dear Robert Adam, one of our most important architects, but he hated. Well, let's be a bit more reserved than that. He didn't like upholstery. He didn't like curtains. And if you look at this, I mean, what he's showing off here in this sketch for the library at Kenwood was his great. I mean, this is a whole room, and this is a detail. Was his artistry, his the decoration that he would for his client. Curtains played a very minor role, and if you were to copy those curtains, you just put some measly little flimsy dress curtains. That's all they are. Well, and actually there is a house where they did copy one of Robert Adams, and they look absolutely ridiculous. In England, we don't have dress curtains. I know it's more important than common in America, but in England at this date, dress curtains don't exist. So these curtains really should work, but they don't look as though they do. But it just so happened, you know, I found the bill that made the curtains for this room. This is a William France bill, and actually you can see, and again, don't forget your trimmings, 44 yards of crimson guard binding. That's the thing that goes all the way around the edge of the curtain. Well, it doesn't have to go all the way around the edge, but it did in this case. And it says 77 yards of silk line, which I didn't touch it. And so, and that is how those curtains were made. It always says, so often in 18th century accounts, that the silk damask is supplied by the patron. You use your own damask, here we are, of your own damask. And we don't know how much damask was ordered. Anyway, that's very dubious, because we don't want the pattern repeat. You know, we can't always work it out. But you can work it out from the trimmings. And as I said, usually trimmings can go side, bottom, side. But I still had some left, so then I went across the top. So it told me, by knowing, because I had the three windows, we had the original windows, you could then tell whether the braid was pleated, was binding the top after it had been gathered or before it had been gathered, because of the amount that you had. And also we had the cornice boxes, which was good, and we realised by the way they're made up, you did have to have braid along the top, because the curtains were not inserted at the top. So that dictated both the line, the cord, and the thing dictated how they should be made.
And also how much drop there was.
How much drop and how much fullness in your damask. I mean, it told you everything, because you couldn't. So those curtains were not. So there we are, Robert Adam, not drawing properly, but that's the bill. So pictorial. The point of that one is that pictorial. Be careful when you're interpreting a picture. And I just, the detail that Mary went in his lectures, I'm not getting quite into that, but I hope that by the end of this you can see the variety of sources. But the attention to detail is paramount. And you know, you just discover so much, and this is such a small detail. But go down Kettleston, go around certain houses, and you'll find that the cloak pins, which are the pins you put in your architrave to wrap round your cord for this sort of curtain, they're always, if they're new, put terribly close together. They were never close together. They were spaced apart. Look at this lovely, I love this painting. Do you see there the cloak pins either side there? They are about 50, I'm sorry, I'm an inch person, 30 I don't know what you all are, but they are 30, minimum is 30 centimetres or a foot, 12 inches. They're usually a little bit more apart. I'm just trying to think whatever 15 inches is in metric. But they are quite widely spaced apart. And But the number of times, and it's so practical. Just always think of them practical. If you have them close together, you've got all this cord you've got to wrap round, and you get this great thick bundle of cord. If you have them stretched apart, they're lovely and elegant. So you go around, when you go around the country, I'm sorry, I do tend to hit people, you're in the wrong place.